So, without being too much of a fanboy, this book was an eye opener for me because I thought for years that sales was very much being charismatic. Just putting on the charm and doing that. I didn't realize how much of sales was formulaic, and this book was eye opening for me for that. So I want to say thank you for that. Number one. Number two, can you give me an idea of when you realized it was formulaic? When it took you from being, just someone that had a gift for a gab to being like, oh my God, I'm only getting the same questions, the same 5 or 10 questions. I really should script out how to answer these. Take me back to when you were newer in sales, when you figured out the real truth behind how sales actually works.
Yes, that's a great question, and I really like when you talk about, hey, having the gift of gab, and it's really about a personality-based thing. Other people say, hey, I have to be genuine with someone. I can't come across like a robot, and in fact, sales are consultative. Everyone's different. I need to be able to, to chuck and jive, and I need to be able to, yes and no, right? So the truth is this. You mentioned it here, and I like to say, and I talk about this in Power Phone Scripts, there are 10 characteristics of sales professionals, and I preface all of sales by saying there is a secret to being successful in sales. And there is, and you hinted to it. And what it is 80 to 90% of the situations you run into are the same over and over again. So why not script out the most effective, best practice wording, messaging that you can use to deal with those recurring selling situations? And that's why scripts are so important. But I want to answer your original question. When did I figure this out? Early in my sales career. When did I realize that ad-libbing and making it up as I go along and wheeling and dealing and trying to use my charm wasn't really the best, most effective approach? And it was when I was struggling. And I was looking at the top 3 producers. I was in an office of 25 sales reps. We were financial investment reps making hundreds of cold calls a day. And there were 3 top producers, and one of them drove a beautiful Porsche Carrera, and I drove an old beat-up Nissan hatchback. And he'd walk in with his $1,000 suits, and I had, I certainly wasn't wearing that. And I asked myself, what is he doing that I'm not doing? And I literally recorded him. I snuck next to his cubicle, and I put my tape recorder up, and I recorded him making cold calls. I recorded him making closes, and I came back one weekend, and I transcribed them all. And I compared what he was saying, and there was a giant difference between what he was saying and what I was saying. Number one, what he was saying was very spot on. It was very pointed, and it addressed all the situations in, again, a best practice approach. And the second thing is he said it over and over again. He didn't deviate. And when I compared that to what I was doing, and again, I was making it up as I went along. I was trying to play off people's personalities. I was trying to come up with the response du jour of the day. I failed miserably. It was hard. And I was not only not effective, but I was exhausted by lunch, because I was trying to reinvent the wheel on every call. Bottom line, guess what? There is a formula. There is a best practice approach. The responses, the objections, the blow-offs you get, got news for you, they're all the same. When do they differ? There's probably about 7, 8 objections you get. Well, again, why not script out the most effective, proven responses to them, and then concentrate on learning them, internalizing them, so you can deliver them like an Academy Award-winning actor. If you do that, your days will go by faster, you'll be much more effective, you won't be as tired at the end of the day, and bottom line, you'll make a lot more sales and have more fun, period.